Returning to our top story now, on the G7 summit in Italy. In the last hour or so, Pope Francis arrived at the summit. Here he is with the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. The Pope is expected to speak about the risks and rewards of artificial intelligence, a subject he has spoken about in the past. He has first-hand experience, as he was the subject of viral AI-generated images that many believed were real. Well, we can speak now to Ruth Gledhill, who's assistant editor of the International Catholic Journal, The Tablet. Thanks very much indeed for being with us. So, the Pope speaking at the G7, that in itself is quite unusual, isn't it?
Very unusual. In fact, he's the first Pope ever to do so. At 87-year-old, we've got to really admire him doing this, but it signifies how important he thinks this issue is. He's called the development of AI an epochal change. People in Rome say it's as close to his heart as the issue of climate change is and has been, and that of migrants and refugees. He really is passionate about it. He's got a science background, don't forget. He trained as a chemist as a young man, and he's maintained his scientific rigour in the way he approaches the world. And so this is probably of great help to him in determining his stance on AI. Now, he believes it does offer fantastic opportunities, as most of us do, but he's also very aware of the risks. And he and other world leaders in Italy and all around the world, really, many support his belief that there must be an ethical and moral framework drawn up for AI.
I mean, you said that he believes in it strongly. He's also been the victim of fake AI-generated images. Remind us about that incident. Well, I think we're showing in the picture now, and how far they spread, and whether people really believed it was him in that outfit.
Well, there was that famous one, yes, of him in the puffer jacket. He's also been pictured at Burning Man at festival and also on a motorbike. And there's many images of him which are circulating. And apparently many people did believe the puffer jacket one especially was real. But it quickly did become apparent it was AI. But still, the image went viral. And I think he and other people were concerned about this because the old adage, the camera doesn't lie, you can no longer rely on that. And of course, as Pope, truth, propagation of what he believes is the truth, and the truth, objective truth, is a main concern of his. And and many others also are very concerned about the potential of AI to subvert truth, and particularly with a big election year we have at the moment, and particularly in issues such as elections all over the world. And as Pope, who better placed to lead a moral and ethical attempt to try and pioneer some kind of regulatory and ethical and moral framework to help to regulate the use of AI.
So you talked about the need for ethical and moral sort of framework. What do you think they're going to end up with? Do you think they'll end up with something concrete that comes out of this particular G7, or do you think they're on a journey towards something?
I think both, really. There's also already a Vatican document that's been drawn up that outlines the 6 main principles they believe there should be enshrined in AI ethics, and these would include things like transparency, inclusion, responsibility and impartiality. And some amazing people have already signed this document, including Microsoft, IBM, Cisco, and the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization as well. And so I think he wants the backing of world leaders in kind of pursuing this agenda, which the Vatican and he have already done an awful lot of work on. It goes back to the issues that are his concern in climate change and migrants as well, about how AI could fuel existing inequalities in humanity, but then it brings on its own issues as well, such as the distribution of fake news. So Pope Francis wants all parts. He doesn't want to stop the technology in its tracks. He doesn't want to turn his back on it, but he wants all parts of the world to have access to it and for it to be properly regulated, so that what he calls a person-centred AI can predominate, rather than one where people are put at risk by AI.